Have you ever had a job where you had no idea what was expected of you? Where you honestly couldn't tell whether you were doing a great job or just barely hanging on? When I got out of college, I went to work in the financial industry. At that time, there was very little emphasis on management. The unspoken assumption was that everyone would be motivated by some combination of fear and greed. Meanwhile, a friend of mine from college joined a cutting edge consulting firm. Twice a year, he went through structured performance reviews. Afterward, he'd call me and we'd walk through the feedback he received. Now, not all of it was glowing, but he always knew where he stood, what he needed to work on, and how to progress to that next level. I, on the other hand, hadn't even been given a job description. I had no idea how I was measuring up. After 5 years of drifting, I went to the guy who hired me and I sat down in his office. He asked, "What can I do for you?" I said, "How am I doing?" He said, "You're doing fine." So I pressed him. What are some things I could do to improve? He thought for a minute and he said, "You should probably call the branch offices more often." Then I asked him the question that caused all the blood to drain out of his face. "Where do you see me in 5 years?" For a brief minute, I thought he might actually throw up. He eventually recovered enough to mumble something about me becoming a head trader one day. What I was really saying in that meeting was simple: manage me. Now, it took another 20 years, but annual reviews were eventually instituted company wide. Since then, management thinking has evolved. Today, most experts no longer advocate for annual or semi annual reviews alone. Instead, they emphasize something called constant feedback so people can keep growing and are never blindsided by poor reviews or termination. Which raises an important question for leaders. Do your people truly know what's expected of them? Not just long term, but this week. This isn't about micromanaging. It's about making sure everyone is aligned, aiming at the same target, and working under the same shared assumptions. One tool I use with leaders is something I call Expectation Mountain. It's a simple 4 step framework designed to eliminate ambiguity, create buy in, and ensure follow up. Now, more recently, I've also been using a technique called feed forward. It's aspirational, future focused, and produces noticeable growth. How much more effective would you be if you not only made measurable progress as a leader, but your people recognized it as well? If you'd like to talk about expectation setting, feed forward, or how these tools might work in your organization, feel free to reach out. And I'm curious, what has been your experience with periodic reviews? Feel free to share your comments below.